Hey guys, Jacob here. Welcome to a brand new video on the Division 2. This is going to be a video discussing the 4 new talents that are actually being added to the game. They're also adding a new shotgun, which most of you guys are aware of, but this is me showing you guys what the new talents are and discussing them a little bit more in depth. This video is not going to be too long because I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time because these talents are actually pretty simple and there's not a whole lot to discuss, but I know some people have been wanting me to discuss some of these because some of these are actually mostly DPS talents. They're all based around red instead of yellow or blue, so it's really nice to see that they're actually adding a few red type talents to the game, and since people are be running DPS builds in the next patch, I could see these being used a lot. And also it's nice to see that in general there's going to be more variety we can use for using more reds. But the first one I'm going to talk about is going to be the talent Spark. This is a backpack talent. Damaging enemies with skills or explosives grants 20% weapon damage for 15 seconds. This does not stack, so if you guys are using, like, say, a drone, or if you're using grenades and you throw this, you will get 20% weapon damage for 15 seconds. So you can keep throwing nades over and over and over again, or using turrets and stuff like that to proc the damage. And this does require 9 or more. So this is really cool on a backpack. It's also an active, so if you have really high reds and you can't get really any other active talents, then if you're using like a berserk build or some kind, you can just throw this on there and actually use your grenades and actually get something out of an active talent instead of having one that sits there and not really being able to use it at all. It's really cool they added that. It's kind of like a DPS kind of on the ropes type thing. Kind of reminds me of just a tiny bit instead of like using yellows instead, they're using reds now, which is still pretty awesome. Now the next one's going to be Concussion. This is a mass talent. Headshot grants 20% headshot damage for 2 seconds, 5 seconds with marksman rifles. This does require 7 or more. Also, if you're, since DTE is a little bit, we can't stack hard hitting anymore. If you say I have like 40% on a mask, you could go ahead and throw this on the mask and actually have this. If you're using marksman rifles or just a gun in general, you can shoot someone in the head and get headshot damage. I most likely will be using this with the Nemesis, so I can proc more headshot damage and just basically rip through NPCs, or potentially rip through some of the bosses that are in the raid, or potentially even using this in the new raid. I'm not sure what the new raid is going to be like, but hopefully we'll be able to test some of these out in the new one. Now the next talent is going to be Vigilance. This is a chest piece talent. Gain 25% weapon damage. Taking damage disables a buff for 5 seconds. This does require 7 or more. To me, this talent is really awesome. There's also Perfect Vigilance, which is like 30%. So if you have this on a chest piece, I know there's not a lot of straight up damage talents you can get, but if you're in cover with like a sniper rifle or just an AR and you're sitting back, for example, say you're hitting like Razorback or hitting a boss, you can gain 25% extra weapon damage just shooting them in the face. But as long as you don't get hit, you'll be good. So I think this is a pretty awesome talent to be using, like, sit back and cover and just rip through NPCs. But it's, like I said, requires 7 or more, so it's pretty much the same as Berserk, which is the same requirements. Now the next one is going to be one that I'm going to be probably using a lot in a lot of my builds, and that's going to be the new knee pad talent, and that's going to be Composure. While in cover, grants 10% total weapon damage. This does require 11 or more firearms, not 7. So if you're running like a high DPS build like I am in missions and raids and stuff, or in general, and you want to rip through NPCs or you're using cover, a good example would be using this on Razorback while sitting next to the generators, just ripping through the panels and just getting a little bit more damage. You could use Patience, but if you're more of a DPS player and you don't have enough blues, you could throw this on there and just use this instead, like Patience, and get 10% total damage just for going in cover. But those are just 4 talents, so those are the new ones I wanted to show you guys. Thank you guys all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know this video is really short, but this is going a little bit more in depth, showing you guys what they do, and some people wanted me to make a separate video on these, just them in general. But thank you guys all for watching. Make sure you subscribe for more Division 2 content, and always, I will catch you guys later.